the cube is really hard unless and until you get the fundamentals right. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about this master morphings, which is just like really cheap. It's only 10 SG dollars, and we're going to be talking about why this puzzle seems to look hard, and we'll get into the details later. So before we go any further, we would just like to let you know that this would be the last video for till the end of November, since we've got our exams coming up and we won't be having time to make videos. So we'll continue posting in December. So I guess that's about it for this time. And now let's get on to the video. Okay, so almost all shape-shifting puzzles may appear hard, almost, not every one of them, but they may actually appear quite hard, and that's because they're shape-shiftable, I guess. So if you look at this cube right now, it feels like you don't even know how to turn it. Like, it's kind of hard and you don't even know what you're doing. So the first step you need to understand are the pieces. Like, take for example this one. This one here is a corner piece, I think. Yeah, and these are the edges, and you'll be forming a cross like this. So these will be the edges, the centers. So these are the centers, and the rest, these are just corner pieces, these and the big ones, and the other pieces over here are the edge pieces as well. So these are all edge pieces. So from there, this cube is actually really easy. So it's actually really hard. The cube is really hard unless and until you get the fundamentals right. So that's basically the pieces, and from there it's really easy. It's very intuitive as well. So the first step is to form the cross, and for that we need the green paired up like this and here, and the yellow from here till here. So we can start off by moving the yellow edge here. So you get this, and then we have a blue and yellow piece here. We can flip this on later as well. And we have the red here. So I would suggest moving it so that you have to move either the red and yellow over here or here, but this has to be here. And as of now this is correct because we can flip these later on towards the end. And now for the green, we can easily just move this. Yeah, so we should be able to move this. Yeah, so we formed a mini cross, but we need the pieces to come all the way till here. And so first let's start. Let's look by each of the centers. So this is actually aligned with the red, so it can be any color over here, doesn't really matter. You just need to form a cross. So this is already aligned. We can start off with this. So it's basically like a 90-degree turn. So how I think of it is that there's green, blue here. So we just like switch places. So we bring the blue to this side and green to that side. And then we move the bottom layer out. And then we fix it however we want. So since the green will be coming here, I'll have to move this layer a bit like this, and then I'll be able to turn, yeah, like this, and I'll be able to turn it back and insert it. So now we have one side half cross and the other one we have to flip these two, like yellow has to come here and yellow has to come here. So we can do the same thing. How I think of it, yellow comes here and blue goes there. So yeah, like this. And then we move the bottom layer out and then we turn it back. Since this will be going here, so we turn it more, and at this point it will match perfectly, and you just turn it back. So we only got one more center or edge left. We can continue doing the same thing. So move the yellow there and red here. Move this out of the way. So you know that this thing's gonna... Wait, I'll show you guys again. So since we are like this, and this piece is what we have to keep track of. So the yellow is there and we have the yellow edge here. So we move it out of the way and then we turn this to however we want, and once we align them we just put them back, and now we've got our cross. So the next step is the easiest of all. That is basically just the corners. So this, and this. So that's all we gotta do. So take this first, yellow, green. So we need to find a yellow, green, and it has to match this color, that's blue. So we have to find a yellow, green and blue. So yeah, so it's here. So we just move the bottom layer here, and then we can just insert them to how we want, like this. And then we go for this corner. It's green, yellow and red, and that's over here. So we take it out by just doing R prime, D prime, R, and then we just insert it again. I did it wrong. So just keep repeating R prime, D prime, RD if you just don't get the insert, and you'll eventually just get it. Yeah. So then the next corner, let's say we get the green one. So this is the first case we saw was triple colored. So it had 3 colors like this, and now we are seeing only one colored one. So that's basically just green alone. So we find it. So this is basically easier than the previous corner insert. So what we gotta do is bring green under green, the green corner under the green cross or something, and then you put this layer down and you replace this green corner with the red one there, and then we just put it back up. And now only the yellow corner is left. We find the yellow corner, it's over here. We put it under the yellow. We repeat the same thing. And now we've got our cross and the first layer done. Up until now, you would have seen that the steps are really easy to follow, and this cube may seem hard, but it actually just isn't. It's just designed to look hard, but it's actually really, really easy. And from that we come to the next step, which is basically flipping these edges or aligning them with the centers over here. So we can take any edge. So for example, say I take the yellow one. So I need to find the yellow piece. So over here it's aligned on top of each other and it matches completely. Don't see the colors, but just see the piece. But I mean, take note of the yellow color but not the red. It doesn't matter right now. So we actually don't want it to be like this, so we move it here. Over here, if you see, it's not aligned, so we move it. So this is basically just like our case, so it's like this. Wrong case. Yeah, so it's like this case here. So where it's the same as these two cases are the same, the F12 cases. So in this case, what we would do is we'll move it away and then just pair them up like that and insert. So it's the same thing on the master morphings. One second. So we move it away and then we pair them up and then we just insert it. And now if I take red and red, so if I keep it here, they're aligned together and they match perfectly. So we move it to the other one, the other piece on top of this, and then we move it away. We pair them up like every other F12 case. Sometimes the turning might just be weird and it may take time, but still. And then green and green, so this is in perfect place. So we just move it away, pair them up, and then just insert. So yeah, so we're done with all the we're done with the F12 basically. Now all we got is the last layer left. So it's actually good. This case is bad, but for the tutorial right now it's actually good because I don't want to keep changing the cases. So this is the worst case you could possibly get, and this is like the first step. So if you guys did not get this case where if you move the top layer once like this, and they both are like the same piece, but then none of them actually match over here, so then we have to do an alg. But before that, if you guys did not get this case, and if you guys just got like a case where this red just matches on this and another red piece just matches on this, you guys can just skip through the video and go to the next part. But from here, let's start off. So say even if you check for the blue, it's the same way. So both the blue edges are on the same centers, on top of the same centers. So all we gotta do is basically it's basically for pairing up the cross, the yellow cross. So what we would do on a 3x3 is basically just FRU R prime U prime for the cross to be formed. So you can think of this as a line case. So we would be doing the same alg on this. So take these colors. So we have blue, red, unsolved. So those are the main colors. So we would do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. So now you would have a case like this where either this will match on this and this won't match on this, rather it will match on the other one. So that's how it's supposed to be. So that's the second step. So here we have like before that, so this is basically like a beginner's tutorial. Not it's like a beginner's method for 3x3. I'm just scrambling it a bit so that I don't want to take some time to solve it. So for a beginner, you will have to get like these cases first. So where all the centers on the beginner's tutorial, you'll have to get the centers matched first. So for that, you'll do an alg. It's the same thing. It's basically just the soon or RU, R prime, U prime, RU to R prime. So that's all we'll be doing. So we keep two of the edges over there and we do this soon. Never mind. Over here, one at the back and one at the left, and then we do this soon. Okay, I'm really bad at this. One in the right and one at the back. Yeah, okay. So similarly, in the same way, these two edges are actually matched right now. Sometimes you may also get the other way around, where you'll have a red here and the blue here. So that when even if you do the alg, it will only switch these two, not not these two, so it will only switch these two. So switching a red with a red is practically just useless. So it's basically like this case where these two are equal. So it's like the case where it's similar to when these both are matched, but these two are opposite colors. So that's an annoying case on the 3x3. Similarly will be, if you get that case, you just do the current arc twice, keeping the edges. If you get that case, you can keep any of the edges towards the right. So if you do the soon once, you'll get this case. So once you get this case, keep this on the right, and then you just do the soon. U R prime, U prime, R U to R prime, and then you'll be able to pair these edges up. So once you're done with the edges, this is an bonus step, or like an extra step on the master morphing, which is not part of a 3x3, and that is basically just to flip this and match. So this red has to be here and the blue be facing that side. So for this you can get 3 cases on this. The first one, it's already solved properly. Second one, the case is just flipped over, so the blue is here and the red is here. For that, you just do the soon once, you move, and then you do the soon again, and then you do a U again. And but then for this case, you do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, I may have messed up, never mind. And then F, R, U, R prime, U prime. Okay, so I definitely did mess up this one, but it's just really easy to get back the... Give me a second, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. So if you had noticed that time, I told if you switch these two pieces, you would be just switching these two actually, so that's not beneficial. So what you would do is the alg, but just one more time, like so twice. Do R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U to R prime. But the thing is, I did it on the wrong side. Sorry. Yeah, I can't be doing that since it will disrupt every other piece. So yeah, this piece R, we'd be wanting to switch these two, so R, U, R prime, U prime. No wait, I'm doing the same thing again. It's hard to see through the camera, so sorry. Yep, so now we got the perfect case. We put it on the right, do R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U to R prime. So here now we got this case. We do F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, and then F prime. So now we'll be back to this case, and from here we just continue, and then we just do the same step over again from where we left. So this is like 2 steps behind, and yeah, we are basically just 2 steps behind right now. So if you just continue from that step, you'd be able to complete it again, and this will be paired up. And now all we got left are the corners. So these 3 corners are left. Actually, an extra corner is solved right now. So I think it's since we took the cross here, it's gotta be, I don't know. Yeah, it's this corner here. Yeah, it's the red corner here. So it's actually lucky that we got this corner, so we can just skip doing the alg once. So if you hadn't gotten this corner, you can just do the alg from any directions, but since we got this here, we face this, and then you do a U move, basically away, and then do R, U prime, L prime, U, R, U prime, L. And now, since this is red is again, and all the other corners are not in their correct place, we just do it again. Okay, if you see now, all the this, and this, these three corners are in the right place, and now all they got left is one corner piece. But you may also get this corner piece not solved, but you just have to do the alg, which I'm going to do now the same way. So it's basically just inserting this here, R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D. Now that it's inserted, but then it's actually misoriented. Okay, you don't need to go back to all the steps now. Just move the top layer once like this in the half, and then you just continue doing the alg. And then it'll automatically solve itself. Anyways, as I told, this is a really easy cube and you can learn it in no time. So that's about it. We'll see you guys after a month or more.